Hey, Anna, Parents Weekend's coming up, and here are another ranked opponents coming to the Coliseum.
That's right, Aaron. The USC Trojans are taking on the Utah Utes to hopefully redeem themselves after last year's loss.
Well, we'll talk about it. We'll look to expect for this weekend. We'll also have women's soccer midfielder Sydney Slavic in studio. Sports Scene starts now. Well, welcome back into the luxurious Annenberg Media Center. I'm Aaron Glazer.
And I'm Hannah Wing. The USC football team rolled through Oregon State last week, but now has Utah headed their way.
That's right, Hannah. The number 23 Utah Utes are coming to town, but with a little bit of a quarterback dilemma. Tyler Huntley, their main starter, who is 4-0 so far in the season, might not play. He did not play last week against Stanford. And now Troy Williams is set into a position where he did play with a loss last week, but he might play again. Some injury controversy. So we'll have to see who is the guy to go on the field for these Utes.
Absolutely. Who do you think that USC would rather play against?
I think USC would probably rather play against Troy Williams, the backup, because Huntley is such a dynamic rusher in addition to throwing the ball well.
Absolutely.
He's got 966 yards, 6 touchdowns, but a lot of those yards come from the rush, and so it's important for USC to, they've had some trouble with getting guys on the rush. I think of Sam Ellinger from Texas, so it's important that USC sees, that the quarterback's moving, USC's defenders are able to get to them.
I mean, I think especially after last week's when they have a lot of momentum heading in this weekend, so hopefully they can pull out another win.
Absolutely, Hannah. Another guy to watch out for on the USC side of things is wide receiver Tyler Vaughn. Now, look here, this is his first touchdown.
He has been great this season. So fun to watch.
Now, something I like about Tyler Vaughn is that he provides another option for Sam Darnold in the backfield.
Absolutely.
The receiving core, rather. That is that if Deontay Burnett starts off slow, such as he did against Oregon State, Darnold is not solely tied to Burnett. He can look to a guy like Vaughn's to get short receptions, or in the case of that touchdown.
Exactly. We need options like that,
Of course. And we talked to Sam Darnold, speaking of him, about what he thinks of the Utah Utes program.
Obviously, it's kind of well documented that they were my first offer, so I have a lot of respect for the Utah program because of what they built there ever since they've entered the Pac-12. But yeah, it'd be nice to get a win, but I think it'd just be nice to get a win in general, no matter who it was.
And the Utah game will be at 5 p.m. on Saturday.
Don't miss it.
Hannah, so this Utah game is going to be about roughly the halfway point of the season.
It is, and it's time to play a fun game where we give out some midseason awards.
All right, so let's start off with our breakout player of the season. That is freshman running back Stephen Carr. Hard to kind of break out. It's just his first year, but this guy has done it. 52 attempts, 309 yards, and 3 touchdowns for Carr so far. He's been a dynamic rusher. To compliment Rojo, if I was opposing team's defensive coordinator, I was not expecting this guy to be what he is, but he has just come out of the gates so far and been such a strong player in the backfield for USC that really gives him a two-headed attack.
Definitely. And up next is most inspirational, going to none other than Jake Olsen. For those of you who don't know Jake's story, Jake lost his vision at the year of 12 years old, and he has played in 2 live snaps so far against Western Michigan and Oregon State. Hopefully he has some more left this season. It's been so fun to watch him on the field. I know he inspires so many people.
Absolutely, Hannah. No doubt about that with Jake. Kind of going back to on the field, the team MVP for me is sophomore cornerback Jack Jones. Look at this guy. He's got 4 interceptions through only 5 games. That is really something. 3 pass deflections and a field goal block. It seems like when opposing offenses are trying to get anything done against these Trojans, number 25 is always in the way, and that's something that Jones should be very proud of, and the team should really rely on, seeing as that defense has been very strong for them so far this year.
I agree with that, and last but not least, most improved goes to Uchenna Nwosu. In the 2016 season, he had 28 solo tackles and 3 sacks. So far this year, he's had 30 tackles, 1.5 sacks, an interception, a fumble recovery, and 8 passes broken through 5 games. Hilton has mentioned that he has really great field presence, so it'll be super fun to watch him and all the contributions that he has to the team this year. Not only is football halfway done with their season, but women's soccer has passed their halfway mark as well. Our reporter Sam Marslanian has more on how the team's doing.
Thanks, Hannah. With a 10-1-1 record, the USC women's soccer team is off to their best start since 2008, when they started with a 12-1-1 record. The defending national champions graduated several seniors, but we've seen magnificent performances from many new faces on the pitch. Forward Tara McKeown is tied as the Trojans' leading goal scorer this season. McKeown proved she's able to deliver in the clutch last game when she buried a free kick into the Sun Devils' net to even the score in the 61st minute. Redshirt freshman goalkeeper Kaylee Collins has also been crucial. This season, she's tallied 27 saves, stopping about 3/4 of the shots coming her way. Collins recorded her 5th shutout last Sunday. If there is one critique for the team, it's their consistency. In a number of games this season, the women of Troy had played one fantastic high-intensity half and a lower energy half. This issue was more noticeable at the beginning of the season, but still shows up now and again. The most significant asset to USC right now is their defense. They've only allowed 8 goals this season. The women of Troy have tallied 5 come-from-behind wins. That's half of their wins. If the Trojans want to be competitive against top-tier teams like Stanford and UCLA, they will need to maintain their intensity from minute 1 until minute 90. All in all, it's been a fantastic season so far, so expect big things from the women of Troy as they head into the final weeks of their season.
Thanks, Sam. It certainly has been a great start to the soccer season. And here joining me now to talk more about women's soccer is senior midfielder Sydney Slavik. Sydney, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So the women's soccer team obviously won the national championship last year. A bit of a late congratulations there. What's that been like kind of as now the defending champs and playing with that little title attached to you?
I mean, to admit it, I'm not really over the national championship. I still get chills. And I know most of the girls on the team watch the videos and still get chills from that. So I think that's kind of been the momentum we've been carrying this season, to just want to defend the national championship and make everyone proud and like keep it going and just really work hard for each other and for other seniors that have the last chance to finally do this one more time. So it's definitely something that's keeping us going, just realizing that that's on our shoulders.
And have the coaches been kind of instrumental in, maybe setting the focus a little bit differently, that it's a new year, or is there still kind of a remembering of last year going into the middle?
Yeah, definitely at times the coaches can tell that we're kind of getting off track, just losing our mindset. So they're working really hard right now on keeping us up and giving us confidence and telling us that we need to work harder and put every little bit of ourselves into every practice.
Well, I'm glad that the coaches are making sure to do that. Now, so you've been on this team for 4 years. You're now kind of an older figure, a bit more of a leader. What's the camaraderie for the team been like over the 4 years that you've been here? And then how are you embracing being in a bit more of a leadership role this year as a senior?
It's definitely changed. I know my freshman year I was given the name Baby Slade, and then as I worked my way to senior, they're kind of like, wow, we need to give you a different name. It needs to be like Baby Mama Slade. So I'm kind of more of like a mother figure, but not really. But if anyone ever needs like anyone to talk to, I'm kind of that person, because we have different leaders on the team who are more vocal or do different things. So I'm kind of just that like shoulder you need every now and then. So I definitely feel like every person contributes to the camaraderie on the team, and everyone's definitely really close with each other.
And it sounds like you've kind of embraced that motherly role as being an older figure. Has that been the case?
Yeah, definitely. I kind of like that role too. Like, I kind of like being in like good standing with everyone on the team, and just kind of like having everyone know that I'm always there for them too.
Well, I'm sure you've made such an impact on the younger girls, and it's really great to see that. And then kind of transitioning back to more on the field, this weekend you guys have Colorado. Anything specific you guys have been working on this week going to play against them?
We've definitely had to change the way we normally play throughout the past games. I know that one of our center backs got a red card last game, so she's out this game. So we're kind of switching a little bit and trying new things and kind of seeing where people fit. And I would say definitely a lot of the younger girls are stepping up, and definitely some of the older girls are too, just to kind of, just keep playing the way we are to defend our national championship.
And do you think there's a lot of pressure in the locker room to defend that championship, or have been keeping things light in the middle of the year?
I definitely don't feel like there's any pressure. I kind of think people keep it to themselves more, but I definitely don't really see it as much of an issue. I think a lot of the girls on the team are very strong, and they're very willing to keep it going and just not really let all the pressure affect them too much, which is incredible. Like, all of them are just amazing people.
Well, Sydney, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. And once again, you can catch Sydney and the rest of the women's soccer team on Friday against Colorado at McAllister Field. Now let's turn
USC men's water polo team is currently ranked #1 in MPSF rankings. I'm here with Chloe Christopoulos to see how USC ranks up against other top-ranked teams. What do you have for us, Chloe?
All right, well, USC is back at #1.
So exciting.
Very exciting. And we have a really skilled and talented team.
We do.
We've got 13 returning seniors, which is great. We actually have 2 seniors that talk about how they feel about being back at #1.
Let's hear it from McQuinn Barron and James Walters. I think they talked about it last night about how it just means so much to them to finally be in that #1 spot, especially after losing to Cal last year in the very, very nitty-gritty end of the finals. So it's going to be great to see what they can do this season, especially being back at #1. Let's see who else we have.
We've got at 2, number UCLA. You know, that's our big crosstown rival. It's always a huge game. We play them on November 11th, and it's at UCLA, so their crowd is going to be loud and rowdy, and we're going to have to bring our A game for them. I know it's always a tough
It's always a fun one. I know that USC is finally number 1. UCLA held on to that spot for a long time last year. Let's hear what McQuinn Barron and James Walters have to say.
It's a huge accomplishment, but it kind of, you can't take that for granted. Going into the end of the season, we need to finish number 1. We haven't been able to do that the past 3 years, so it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
It's good to be on top, but it doesn't change anything.
Like McQuinn said, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So let's see who else is up on this board.
Yeah, we've got Cal at number 3. You know, they're a really skilled team. They have 2 really, really strong attackers. Luca Capino is one of them. He played for the 2016 Rio Olympic team.
He did.
For the USA. And we also have Johnny Hooper, who is a really creative player for Cal. That's going to be a tough matchup for them. And then coming in, we've got number 4, Stanford. I know you know quite a bit about the Stanford team.
I do, that's right. So number 4, Stanford, you know, they benched a lot of their guys last year. A lot of their seniors were actually redshirting, like Jackson Kimball, Justin Roberto, Reed Chase, even Ben Halleck, who is their biggest player, I would say. He's young. He was the top recruit out of the 2015 or 2016 class right out of high school, Harvard Westlake, right down the freeway from USC. And they are going to be a great team this year. Definitely one to watch. I know that USC has beat them twice this far, and they aren't going to see them again until NCAA championship games, but just keep an eye on them, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. Their goalie was one of McQuinn's teammates in the Olympic team as well. So just a lot of talent, just a ton of talent in these top 5 teams.
Absolutely. From the pool to the golf course, let's check in with Will Farnsworth to see this week's Ask an Athlete.
I'm here with Pac-12 Men's Golfer of the Month, Justin Suh, and he's going to try to answer as many questions as he can in 1 minute. Are you ready, Justin?
Yes, I am.
All right. The timer starts right now. How would your teammates describe you in 1 word?
Leader.
Go-to warm-up song.
Don't have one.
Favorite place you've traveled?
New York.
Favorite movie?
Avatar.
Favorite TV show?
Entourage.
Favorite sports team?
Lakers.
Favorite color?
Red.
Favorite class you've taken at SC?
Sports journalism.
Chipotle or Cava Grill?
Chipotle.
LeBron or Steph Curry?
Steph Curry.
Drake or Kendrick Lamar?
Drake.
Biggest pet peeve?
Don't have one.
Biggest inspiration?
Tiger Woods.
What's your zodiac sign?
Gemini.
What's a hidden talent you have?
Don't have one.
All right. If you could be any animal, what would you be?
I would be a dog.
If you could have one ice cream flavor for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Mint.
All right. Can you get one more? You're on a desert island and you can only bring 3 things. We're out of time, but I'll let you finish.
3 things, probably. I don't know. I can't think of 3 off the top of my head.
Thanks so much for playing, Justin. Catch the men's golf team as they head next week to Simi Valley.
The breast cancer awareness game against Oregon State brought 2 things to fans' attention, Pink and Matt Fink.
Matt Fink, yeah, that's Sam Darnold's backup quarterback. He had a 51-yard touchdown run, look at right here, with lightning fast speed in his USC debut. Not to mention Jake Olson's perfect snap for the extra point right after this was the cherry on top.
Well, it was definitely an exciting game for Matt Fink, and it'll be super fun to watch the Trojans take on the Utes this Saturday. What are your thoughts for the game?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great game.
It's going to be a fun one.
2 ranked teams coming into the Coliseum. Utah, now the Trojans, again, they did lose them last year in a Friday night game. What was Sam Darnold's first start? So they're probably going to be ready to fire up and get some revenge.
Let's see it. All
right, well, thank you so much for tuning into Sports Scene today. Please follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Annenberg Media Sports.
Be sure to tune in next week for all things USC. Have a good week.